need your strap. Hope you're all well. Grabbing a couple of accessories. So today you need a strap from a belt from a dressing gown, or a strap or a piece of webbing, or anything that you can use, even if it's just even a tea towel, because it's only just to help if you can't reach around the back of your leg, that's all. So that'll be ready. Okay, so today's session is going to be nice and gentle. It's looking at all the releases that we've done on the bite size this week, linking them all together, and getting hips and legs moving a little bit.
Lisa Diable.
Morning, Lisa. So it's nice and gentle today. It's just getting hips moving, legs moving a little bit. Because 60%, it has been proved that 60% of body dysfunction comes usually from the hips, okay? So what we'll do is we're going to work through the whole hip range, okay? And the exercises for that. So it's going to be nice and gentle, but it's going to get those hips moving and hopefully release even things like, can help things like lower back pain as well. So as usual, I was saying is if you're just starting out on this, please make sure check with your health professional if you've had any surgery or any problems before you start. Please stay in a pain-free range of movement. So even if it means that your movement is smaller, don't worry about that. That's just where you are. You need to keep working on it though, so that you can improve it. Okay, right, let's get ready for some nice calming breaths to start with. So nice big breath in, stretch up. Okay, I'm just staying seated at the minute because that's the first exercise. I've got Steve behind the camera today, pushing the button and moving it around, because we're going to do some on the floor if you're able to get onto the floor, okay? And some standing if you can. If not, I've got it all adapted for seating as well. So last big breath in. Okay, we're going to get those shoulders rolling. Okay, we're concentrating on hips today, but let's release the shoulders, help everything get moving. Okay, and then forward. Okay, so if you're seated, you're going to come round in a circle. Now, if you're standing, you're going to get those hips going, okay? So you're going to go one way, and then we're going to turn it round, and you're going to go the other. Okay, right, so let's get going. We're going to get some breath on these as well. I'm going to show you the easiest one first. A lot of you have done this one before with me, the 4 sign, and I'm going to do it seated. I'm not going to do this one on the floor. So if you can, you're going to cross your leg over so that your ankle bones, you can see there, is on the outside of your leg, if you can, okay? If you can't, you can either put your leg up on a step, okay, if that's the best you can do, or if you can put your other leg up on the step and cross your leg across your shin, okay? Depends where you can get to. So we'll start with this one and then I'll move it up, okay? So all you're going to do is you're going to place the hand on the inside of your leg, and the action is that the leg is going to come up. You're not pressing the leg away, the leg's going to come up. And we're going to do this with some breathing techniques like we've done before, like I showed in the bite size. So you're going to sit yourself up nice and tall. You're going to bring that leg into the hand, 20% pressure. It's not going to feel like much at all. Okay, and we're going to hold that for a count of 20. So first of all, we're just going to count to 20. Nice, slow breathing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, take that leg down. So I'm going to go into the full position now. Okay, so if you're struggling with, well, how do I get 20%? Push your leg as hard as you can into the hand, half it off again, and that's about where you're going to be. Okay, sometimes you can actually feel that right deep into the hip joint. Okay, so that's it. You're going to get into that position again. We're going to do this 4 times on this side. This time we're going to do some breathing in and out. So we're going to breathe in for 5. So breathe in, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can try and breathe to your belly. 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so take that leg down. That's 2 on that side. We're going to go for the third one. Okay, so if all you can do is get your leg up on a cushion or a step, still can get that movement here. Okay, so we'll do that one as well. So this time we're going to go in for 5 and out for 5 twice again. So push into the hand, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep that pressure on. 3, 4, out, 5. Okay, we've got one more to do on this side, so I'm going to come back to my full position here. Okay, this time what we're going to do is...
Teresa Hadley.
Morning, Teresa. This time what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in. If you can, you're going to breathe in for 3, hold for 3, out for 3 twice, okay? If not, you're just going to keep that nice, calm, try to breathe to your belly, okay? So we're going to lift up. This is the last time on this side. In, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. And again. In, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. Maintaining that pressure. Okay, so now we're going to go to the side. So I'll show you the different ones again. So we're going to start with the easiest one this time. That you're just going to bring your foot up. Even if it's just on a cushion, it's just so that you can get that leg to sort of swing out a little bit. That's all we need you to do, okay? And then you can go same side or opposite side. It's up to you. With your hand, 20%. Are we ready? Let's go. Let's count to 20. So you're just keeping that pressure nice and even. It won't feel like there's much going on there, but it's just this muscle energy technique that's going to go through and just energize that muscle. Let it know that it can work. And relax. Okay, take the leg down. So reposition it. You get it back into the position that you want, that you can get to. Okay, I'm going to go back to full position here. You can see this leg doesn't drop down as far. Okay, and we're going to go again. This time we're going to be the breathing. So we're just letting that muscle know that it can work, and then we're going to release it with a, so this is the release, then we're going to do the stretch afterwards. Okay, so this is the second time. Are we ready? So 20% pressure, hold it there. We're going to go in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're exit. Take it down. I'm going to bring it back up again. So this is the me doing one. If you can get your leg up and then cross that leg over just that little bit higher. Okay, and then we're going to go in for 5, out for 5 again. So you're going to do this one. Okay, are we ready? Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, out. 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then out. Keep the pressure even. Okay, we've got one more to do on this side, then we're going to get into the stretch. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the full one just to show you that one. So don't forget the actions here. It's not that you're pushing away. That's going to come next. Making sure that ankle bone is on the outside of the leg. So this time we're going to come in. So this is the third one, isn't it? This isn't the fourth one. It's the third one. Yeah, so we're going to come. What we're going to do is in for 3, hold for 3, out for 3. Are we ready? Let's go. In, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. So if you're able to do that, 2, 3, and out, 3. Okay, relax. We've got one more to do on this side. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the full position on this one. We're just going to count to 20 on this one. Are we ready? Let's go. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and relax. Okay, so now we're going to get into that stretch. So depending on where you are again, whether you're putting your foot up, all you're going to do this time is it's not a push straight down, it's sort of a push and away. So you're just stretching this hip. That's what we're looking for, is to stretch this hip, okay? So again, you can get your foot into the same position if it's just up on a couple of cushions or a step, or it's across your shin, or if it's fully across, you're going to come and push that leg away. We're going to hold it for 10, and then we're going to take, we're going to do the first one. So your first one you're going to take to your position, and then we're going to go and we're going to hold that for 10. And relax. Okay, so sit yourself up nice and tall. Okay, if you're not feeling that stretch and you want to get a little bit more of it, with this one, what you can do is hold, as you're pushing away, you can just get hold of your foot and lean forward. So it's chest forward, it's not collapsing and looking down, it's a chest forward. And then you should be able to feel that right up the back of your bum cheek, up into your back there, and then into your hip. Okay, but pain free. You might feel a little bit of strain, but pain free. Okay, so are we ready? Let's go. Pushing away and then leaning into it. And relax. Okay, so we're going to go for the other side. So I'm going to do the easy one this time. But again, you can pushing that away. If you want to lean into it, it'll give you that little bit more of a stretch if you can. Are we ready? Let's go. So you're going to stay in the position that you're finding the comfortable stretching. And relax. And then I'm going to go to the middle one, and then we're going to go once more. So you're pushing away, and then I'm going to push my chest forward, lean forward into it. And relax. Okay, so now we're going to go for some standing and some seated. Okay, so seated one, if you can, you're going to keep your feet on the floor and you're going to keep your feet together and you're dropping your hip to one side. Okay, so that's the easiest one. That's going to start to get that rotation in the hip. If you can put your feet up on a step, both feet, keep them together, you're going to drop this down. And it's the hip movement we're looking at. It doesn't matter if your foot tips up. All I want you to do is get that hip movement out and then bringing it back. Okay, if you're able to stand, okay, what you're going to do is we're going to rotate that hip out and then bring it back. Rotate it out and bring it back. Okay, so whichever one you're on, we're going to go for 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other, and we're going to run through that twice. So, okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So all you're going to do, I'm going to do it standing to show you to start with, and we're just going to go for a hip rotation. So this is going to work your balance again. If you need some help with that balance, that's fine. If you can do it standing, because this is actually, okay, so I want you to be careful if you've had any hip surgery here, that rotation, even if it's just a small amount, okay, or if there's any pain, keep it pain free. And you're just going to keep it rotating, okay, because it's something that we don't get much of. Okay, so we have to be specific with our mobility sometimes and do things that we don't normally do, because it will help with getting things mobile and stable for moving on. Okay, so 20 seconds rest. Now I'm going to do this one and then I'll do one seated then. Okay, so let's turn. So this one I can feel this doesn't squeeze out quite as far. Having to squeeze my bum cheek a little bit harder, concentrate on this one to actually get that foot and that hip to rotate. So don't just swing your foot out, try and get the hip. Can you see my hip actually rotating outwards there? I can feel that, I've got my hand on it. So if you need to put your hand on and feel the actual movement, yeah, that can help you actually connect with it. Okay, so I'm going to sit now. Show you one with your foot on the step. Okay, so this is the second time, so we're back to that first side again. And all we're going to do, so 5 seconds, all we're going to do is drop this one out to try and get a little bit of rotation in that hip. Okay, we're ready? Let's go. So dropping out and back, out and back, out and back. It's just going to help you get that little bit of movement in the hip. Okay, but you're going to keep your feet together on this one. Just really concentrating on that hip. So again, if you need to feel it, I can actually feel that moving there. Just help you make that connection. Okay, rest, then we're going to go around to the other side. Okay. So have any of you seen my video on how to prevent or help prevent injury? You'll see that I'm really big on lots of mobility. So let's go to this other side. Let's get these hips mobile. So just dropping it out to the side. So you're going at your own pace. You know, it doesn't have to be fast. Take it nice and slow. Get as much movement as you can. And I say, if you can't get much movement, just take it nice and gently. Just nice and gently, just to drop that knee out to the side and bring it back. Okay, last few seconds on this. And then we're going to take it up a little bit then. Okay. So, next bit, what we're going to do is we're going to do some leg swings, but we're going to come out to the side, okay? So if you're able to stand, even if you need some balance, you're going to bring your legs out to the side. So I want you to concentrate on lifting with the hip and not sort of swinging the body over to lift the leg, okay, if you can. So we're working the hip, okay? And so if you need to put your foot down, okay? So again, we're going to do 30 seconds, just 30 seconds each side through twice. I'm just going to drop that rest period down a little bit. And that. So if you're seated, you're going to take your foot out. This time you're actually going to move your foot out to the side, okay? So we're going to do 30 seconds one side. I'm just going to take the rest down to 10 or 12 seconds. Just to give you a chance to, so we're going to get through all this. Okay. So are we ready? So you're going to go with that leg swing or the leg movement. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay. So we're going to do that leg swing. If you need to put your foot down and just tap, that's fine if you haven't got the balance. But if you have got the balance, you're going to try and keep the rest of your body nice and upright. Chest up. You can look forward. You don't need to look at your feet. All of them safely on the floor. So even if you just tap in, just getting that hip moving. Okay, last couple of seconds on this side. Okay. And then I'm going to do the next set. Now when we swap over again, I'll show you this one seated. Okay, we're ready. Off we go. So you can swing out or you can tap. I want you to get that hip moving. So try to avoid this leaning over to get the hip out. So if you can only go there, if your hip mobility is restricted in any way, and you can just tap a little bit, it's all going to help, okay? I just want you guys to know that whatever you can do is okay. Okay, so the next one, if you're able to stand, you're going to carry on standing. If not, I'm showing you the seated one. You're going to keep to whatever you've got. So if you've done seated, this is just going to cue you up for the next round. Okay, so all you're going to do is tap out to the side and back. Okay, so it depends where you can get to on here and your pace. You know, if you're struggling to lift your leg, you can just help it along, doing whatever you can. Okay, get your bit of favourite music on, get those feet tapping, because you can always run through these videos again. They're always on my Facebook or they're on YouTube, or will be on YouTube this afternoon. Okay, so we're going to get ready for that other side. So you can get your music on, get your feet tapping out to one side and the other. Okay, last bit. So if you're standing, you're onto your other leg swing. Okay, so if you can swing without putting your foot down, that's great. But if not, you're just going to tap down just to get that leg moving. Okay. So the next one, so we've done the outward and inward movement, we're now going to do the up and down movement. So the first thing we're going to do is release hip flexor, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 on each side on this one, and then we're going to stretch and swing, and then we're going to do 2 on the hamstring side. But if you're isolating these for hip flexors, if you sit a lot, and you want to isolate hip flexors, you need to do this 4 times. But just for today, we're going to do it twice, okay, on each leg. Okay, so again, you can do this seated, or I will go down on the floor and show this one as well. Okay, so all you're going to do is you're going to lift that leg up, and you're pushing into the hand. Again, it's leg action into the hand. You're going to lift your foot up, okay? Just try and get that. If you can't hold your foot up for 20 seconds, you're just going to go as far for as long as you can, okay? On one side and then the other. If you're on the floor, if you can get onto the floor, you can do this laying on your side with the leg over, and you're pushing the leg into the back of the other leg, okay? So it's not a push the hip forward, it's pushing the leg as if you're going to bend the leg. The action would be here. Okay, so you will be pushing the leg into the back of that foot. Okay, so I'll just do the first one down here. If not, you sat, you're just lifting the leg. We can count to 20. So we're just going to do a counting one today on here. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Nice even pressure. 16, 17. 20, and relax. Okay, then we're going to do the same again. So if you're seated, you're just going to lift that leg into the hand, 20% pressure. This time we're going to do a breath in for 5 and out for 5 twice. Okay, if you can. So we're ready. Let's start on that nice slow breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keeping that pressure nice and even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now we're going to do the other side. Okay, so I'm going to do the seated one for the other side. Oops. Are we ready? So you're going to change legs. Are we ready? So we're going to lift up. Here we go. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Concentrate on that even pressure. In. 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, release that leg down. We're going to go once more on here. So this time we're going to do the 3, 3, and 3. Okay, are we ready? So lift that leg, keep that pressure nice and even, concentrate on that. Breathe in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. So in, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. Okay, so that's twice on each side. So now we're going to do the stretch. So if you're seated, I'll show that one first. So what you're going to do is you're going to try to push your hip forward. So you're just dropping that leg back. So if you're on a settee and you're struggling to actually get your foot back, all you're going to do is try to push that hip forward as much as you can if you can't stand. Okay, if you're really struggling with that, you're just going to bring to the edge of the seat and squeeze your bum cheek just to try, just to try to straighten and stretch those hip flexors as much as you can. So you can lean back, or even if you can do this if you were sat on the edge of a bed, you can lay back and just stretch those stretch those hip flexors. Okay, so if you stood, what you're going to do is you're going to step back and you're going to squeeze your bum cheek hard and stretch that hip flexor. So we're going to hold that one for 10. So whichever position you can get into. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, release it, bring it forward. Okay, just give it a little wiggle. Give your leg a little wiggle if you sat down. Taking it back again. 2, 3, 4. Squeeze that bum cheek hard. Whoops. 5, 6. Squeeze it hard. The smaller you can squeeze that, the more that's going to stretch this hip flexors, suck that tummy in. Okay, let's take it round to the other side. Okay, so step it back. Squeeze your bum cheek. Push. Just lean forward slightly. Try not to over compensate with your back. And relax, bring it forward again, and then off we go. Squeeze. 10. Okay, right. So now we're going to get some legs going. So what we're going to do is we are going to do, if you're seated, you are going to do just a bent leg. Lift up. Okay, we're going to go for 30 seconds. So it's just one leg. You're just going to lift it up as much as you can. Okay, so if you need to help it, as long as you can stay in a pain-free range of motion, you can help it. Or even if you can use a strap. If you can't get hold of around your leg, just going to use a strap just to lift it up and down. Okay, so if you're standing, all we're going to do is a bent leg swing. Okay, so it's going to be coming up bent and going back bent. Okay, so it's going to stay bent. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Right, let's go. 30 seconds. Oops. On one side, 30 seconds on the other. Okay, so if you're standing, it's a bent leg. This one. Because you lift that hip flexor. So you're working that hip flexor to lift the leg and then releasing it back. Lift the leg, releasing it back. Okay, so if you need some balance or you need to put your foot down, and just tap it down and lift, tap it down and lift, that's fine. This isn't about having a sweaty session. This is about just getting moving and getting those hips moving and working well. Okay, I'm going to turn it round to the other side. Okay, so nice and gently. So you got your own pace. I mean, of course, if you do want to take it up to cardio, you can start to drive the leg up and lift it back and bring it through. If you want to make it a little bit more cardio, if you're a lot more able. But if not, we're just going to take it nice and gently just to bring it up. Keeping that leg bent, so you're swinging it back. If you're swinging it back without tapping down, just going to keep it bent and just get things moving. Okay, right, so now we're going to take that up to work the other side of the leg. So we're going to look this time at a hamstring energy technique. Oops, just stop on that a second. That's it. We're going to do the hamstring one and then we're going to get the next lot of exercise done. So hamstring one, if you're seated, all you're going to do is put your hand under your leg and you're going to squeeze your, sort of start to squeeze your bum cheek, but push your leg down into your hands, 20%. That's all you're going to do. So you can try to work it so you can feel it in the back of your leg more than just squeezing your bum cheek, okay? So you're going to let that, feel that pressure just to start to squeeze that leg. If you're on the floor, oops, if you can squeeze your legs back, you can do this. If you can get hold of it. If you're struggling, if it's cranking your neck to actually get up to hold that, then just use a strap just to give you that little bit. If you want to relax your neck and push into the strap, okay? So I'll stay down here. We're going to do one. Just counting to 20. So are we ready? Just pushing that leg away. So again, it's always the leg into the hand, not the other way around. Okay, let's go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Relax your back and neck. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so we're going to go to the other side. I'm just going to jump up so I can show you on the chair. So we're going to just do alternates on this one, just for a little bit of variety, so you can move it round. Okay, so I'm just going to drop my leg into my hand. Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Relax your foot. 11, 12, 13, 20, and relax. Okay, we're going to go back to that first leg. We're going to do that one again. Okay, so I'm going to show you with the strap this time. If you're struggling, you know, to lean forward, you're just going to hang that leg, push that leg into that strap. Okay, we're ready. Let's go for a 5 and 5 breathing. So get that pressure on, concentrate on that being equal, and then let's go. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, other side. So this is going to be the last time on the release. Okay, so just going to let that hamstring know it can work well. Let's go. Pushing it down, relax the foot. Even if you're on the floor, relax the foot. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last time. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to show you the stretches now. We're just going to have a little bit of a hamstring stretch. So, if you are seated, you are going to pull your toes up towards your chest and straighten your legs. So that's going to help stretch that hamstring. If you want to get a little bit more, if you are quite flexible and your hamstrings aren't tight or restricted in any way, you can get a little bit of a lean forward with your arms behind your back on there. Okay, so it's just a little bit. So, but I only want you to just feel that stretch, okay? If you're on the floor, and we'll start on the floor. So if you're seated, you're going to extend your leg out. If you're on the floor, you're going to try and get that leg up. So you're going to hold behind the thigh or behind the calf. If you can, drop the other leg down to pull it towards the chest to straighten that leg. I can't get my toes around very much today. Okay, so are we ready? We're going to hold that stretch for 10. So let's get into position. Squeeze those thigh muscles to stretch those hamstrings. Let's go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Again, on this one, if you're struggling, you can use a strap. If you struggle, if it's cranking your neck, you can hold that up. Are we ready? Let's go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so if you're seated, we're going to go swapping legs again. Okay, I'm just going to swap legs with that strap. Okay, if you're finding it really difficult to get that leg straight, bring this supporting leg up as a bent leg, and that'll just help get that stretch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, swapping legs again for the last time. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to take it nice and gentle this time and stretch this hip flexibility. If you can get that leg straight, if you're seated, you're going to get that leg out as much as you can. Are we ready? Let's go. And relax. Okay, so our leg swings on this one are going to be straight leg. Okay, so we're just going to take this up, keeping the leg straight as much as possible, taking it back and draping it up. So if you're seated, you can either just extend the leg, okay, or if you can, you can extend and lift, bring it back, extend, lift, bring it back, okay. So we're going to go for 30 seconds on each side, and we're just going to run through one of those, and then we've got one last thing to do just to get those exercises together. Okay, we're ready. Let's go. So you're either going to be extending the leg just to stretch that hamstring, or you're going to lift, extend, and lift. Again, this is using the hip flexors. But if you do sit a lot, what can happen is your hip flexors can become squashed in, but that makes your hamstrings stretched, permanently stretched. So these two exercises together can help try and get a little bit of a balance. Okay, so if you're standing, I'll show you the leg swing standing. Depending on whether you need your balance or not. Let's go 5 seconds. So swapping legs. It can just help get that equilibrium hopefully back into your body. Okay, you know, if you're sat for 8 to 10 hours a day at a desk, you need to get even just a couple of lots of 10 minutes. You know, it's not much in proportion to actually help yourself hopefully improve and feel better. Okay, so if you've got the balance, if not, you're just going to step it down. Okay, rest. Right, so what we're going to do now, just for the last, oops, I'm just going to pause that a second. The last ones, we're going to work these together if we can. Okay, so we're going to look at 30 seconds of march. Okay, so just bringing those hip flexors up. So if you sat, again, it's just that march. You're going to bring those up. And then we're going to go for a 30 seconds of what we call a good morning. So you're going to put your hands behind your head if you can. If not, you're going to bring them across your body. But if you can get them back, that would be great. And then all we're going to do is we're going to keep it back nice and still, dropping it down, squeezing up. And squeezing up. So if you're seated, okay, if you can, you're going to lift both legs together, okay. If not, you're going to pop your legs up on a step. If you can bring your hands up or bring your hands around here, and you're just going to lean forward just to stretch, because as you lean forward, it's just going to stretch those hamstrings. Even if you end up with your feet on the floor, if you can stretch them out as much as possible and lean forward. Okay, so you know the score with the hands, if you can get onto here, but if you can get your arms back as much as you can to lean forward. Okay, so I'll do the standing one first. We're going to do march first. We're going to run through that twice, and that's going to bring everything in together today with those forward and backward movements. Okay, are we ready? Let's go for those marches. Okay, so whether you're seated or standing nice and controlled, much movement as you can do. Okay, so big range, all the way up, squeezing it up as far as you can. If you can get past that 90 degrees, that's great. Last few seconds. Nice and even, weighted. And then we're going to go for those good mornings. So hands behind the head. Try not to crank the neck and lead with the neck. Back nice and flat. Okay, and I'm going to take it down. And squeeze up. Okay, so you're going to use those bum cheeks. So you're stretching and then you're squeezing up. Nice flat back. Elbows back as much as you can. Head nicely in line. Pain-free, of course. Okay, so I'm going to show you one seated. Last bit. Hi, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling nice and warm actually. Okay, so we're going to do that march. That seated march. So just bringing the legs up as much as you can. Okay, so even if it's just actually being able to lift them off the floor, that's good. Do well, guys. It's not always easy to stick with it with mobility because you don't get the rush. But believe you me, it's going to help. It really, really is going to help you. Especially helping with injury prevention if you're an active athlete as well. Okay, so we're going to work for those. I'm going to put that step on. Straighten those legs out. I'm just going to bring my hands here for now, just to bring it back. Okay, so here, up. Okay, if you can get your hands on your shoulders, that will be even better, or back of your head, even better. So you're squeezing it up, because you're still going to stretch those hamstrings as you're going down, even though you're not getting quite the movement, but you actively squeeze your bum cheeks coming back up. That's going to help activate and get those hamstrings working. Activate, squeeze the legs. Squeeze the back of the leg. Okay, and rest. Okay, so give those shoulders a roll, folks. And give those hips a bit of a wiggle. Okay, hope you're feeling better. Hope you've enjoyed it. We will see you next week.